Welcome back to Jero Dynamics. Okay, spoiler-filled review of the results of the Royal Rumble. Um, I had a blast watching it. I really enjoyed it. Hopefully you watched it as well, and you also enjoyed it. If you're just watching because you want to know what happened, but you didn't watch it or don't really watch, that's fine too. But if you haven't watched it yet, and you're still planning on watching it and you have somehow avoided the results and you don't want to know the results, that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. So probably not the video for you, but let's move forward. All right. Okay. So we are going to start with the match that the event started with, and that's the Women's Royal Rumble match. We'll just get this out of the way right at the beginning. It was a predictable result. Charlotte Flair did win. A little disappointed, but not surprised. That is what I predicted. That's what everybody predicted, and that is what happened. So Charlotte Flair won this. Let's see some of the surprises in it. I don't know like how surprising they were. I kind of had a feeling Alexa Bliss was coming back, but Alexa Bliss came back. That's super exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing what she does moving forward. She looked like she still can go in the ring, and she's in great shape considering she had a child and some other health issues. But yeah, I'm really happy to see her back. Nikki Bella made her return as well. Not sure if that was more of a one and done, just kind of like a throwback, or if she really is coming back, because I was hearing something that she might actually be coming back, like as in she's going to continue with the company. But as of right now, I'm just going to say it's just a one and done. She came back as a throwback, right? Who else? Jordan Grace made her appearance again, and she is now officially with the WWE. So this was just her coming back at the Royal Rumble, and then moving forward, she'll be a part of the WWE. They may send her to NXT, but I don't think so. I mean, she doesn't need to go to NXT, but I mean, I could see them maybe sending her there for a little bit, but we'll see. We'll see. She could go to any brand at this point. Um, any other surprises? I think that's all the returns or surprises as far as that goes. There were quite a few NXT wrestlers, which I was expecting. In my predictions video, I said a bunch of them. I don't think I said Roxanne Perez, but I think that's just because I stopped going down the list because it was taking too long. But Roxanne Perez, I did expect her to show up. And wow, she put on a great performance. She was in the match for the longest, I think, the longest ever anybody's been in a women's Royal Rumble match. She was runner up to Charlotte Flair. She did a great job. And I can't imagine that she is not going to be on the main roster moving forward. But as of right now, she is not officially. And we will see. Maybe she'll do one more, closing storyline with NXT before she comes up. But we'll see. But she should be on the main roster, and we'll be seeing her more in the near future. Stephanie Vacour, I think, is her name. Maybe moving up to the main roster sooner rather than later. They have. So Julia was also in it. Julia is the current NXT Women's Champion. I don't know if they're going to have Stephanie Vacour win either the North American or the Women's Championship before they move her up. She's ready to move up already, I think, and she's got a character. She's good on the mic, what kind of, and she's good in the ring. So wait, does she speak English? I'm not 100% sure about that. I know she's good on the mic from her previous stints, but I don't remember if it was in Spanish, all in Spanish, but I don't know. She's, what is she? Argentinian, I think, or something. She's South American. She's not, I don't think she's Mexican. Anyways, but yeah, they could ever come up to the main roster right away. We'll see. Julia was in the match. I imagine she'll stay in NXT for a little longer. She's a champion, so she at least has to drop the title, but I think she'll probably stay a little longer than that. Let's see. Who else? I think what was her name? Yeah, I don't want to bring up the list. It's not that big of a deal. There was a couple more NXT wrestlers. I think the rest of them, other than Lash Legend, who has been showing up on the main roster quite a bit already, I think the rest of them will probably stay in NXT. It was just kind of like a one-off to be able to fill out the match. Overall, I thought it was a good match. I'm just not super excited about Charlotte winning it and going on to WrestleMania, because that's super predictable, and it just seems that's always what happens, is she's just always in the title match. And I don't know, I don't honestly, I don't think she's that great. I know some people think she's super great, but I just think she's all right, moving on. The tag team championship match was super filler. The only thing that really happened in it was the Street Profits interfered and turned heel again. But the DIY, that's a whole different video. The DIY tag team retained their titles. I predicted that, so that worked out for me. And it was more of like a match to like set up further matches, maybe like three-way matches between the three teams for Royal Rumble for WrestleMania. But it was just really a filler match. Then we got the title match between Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens, and it was great. They both did amazing work, and they both may be injured. so we'll see how that goes. We'll see. The Kevin Owens spot, he took some pretty brutal bumps, but that final spot looked like maybe he might have gotten injured. So basically, Cody Rhodes he was up on the announce table. He had him up in an Alabama Slam position. They had a ladder between the announce table and the ring, and he Alabama slammed him onto the ladder, which caused the ladder to fold, and Kevin Owens rolled down it backwards, and his head got caught in one of the rungs. It looked pretty bad. It could have been fine. He could be completely fine. But it did look pretty bad. So we'll see. Maybe he's completely fine, or maybe he has an injury, that a legitimate injury, because they're saying they're both at least work-wise injured, to the point where they couldn't do the post press conference. We may be looking at some changes to some matches moving forward, which we will talk about after I get through this match and the Royal Rumble. Anyways, Cody Rhodes won, but he was also injured, possibly really injured, but we shall see. It also, again, might be storyline instead of a real injury, so we'll see. All right. Great match, worth the price of admission, which was free. No, I pay for the Peacock or whatever streaming service, so not 100% free, but basically free at this point, right? I enjoyed the match. Okay, Royal Rumble, what we all came for. I love the event, the Royal Rumble event. I love the Royal Rumble match. It's my favorite thing that happens all year. WrestleMania is great. Storylines and pay-per-views and everything all throughout the year are great, but Royal Rumble is peak WWE for me, and the reason why is surprises. You usually can have a general idea of who is likely to win it, but usually there's a couple of people that could possibly win it. Unlike the Women's Royal Rumble match, where it was almost guaranteed. Even that match, it could have gone to Roxanne Perez as a surprise. It could have been, Becky Lynch. Oh, I didn't really talk about who didn't come. Becky Lynch didn't make her return. Trish Stratus showed up in the Women's Royal Rumble match. I thought that might happen. I think I said that in my prediction videos. But there were a couple of people who didn't come back in the women's Royal Rumble match. Anyways, including like Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch could have won it. Nia Jax could have won it. Bayley could have won it. So there were a couple people that could have won the match, but Charlotte Flair was the most likely option for winning, and she did win. With the men's Royal Rumble match, it could have been CM Punk. I predicted John Cena. I thought John Cena was the most likely, and I thought we were going to have a predictable Royal Rumble as far as that goes. But yeah, it could have been John Cena. It could have been Roman Reigns. It could have been Seth Rollins. Could have been Drew McIntyre. All of these people kind of had could have been, The Rock could have came back and won the thing. Who else? Is there anybody else that I could have honestly seen winning the match? Like a surprise, I guess, could have been Paul. Why am I forgetting his first name now? It's not Jake. It's not his brother. Logan. Weird. Anyways, my brain works weird sometimes. So Logan Paul technically could have won it, but that would have been weird. Braun Breaker technically could have won it, Sami Zayn technically could have won it. There was a bunch of people that could have technically won the match. But when you were thinking about who was going to win the match, technically Brock Lesnar could have came back and won the match, but yeah, that's a whole different story altogether. Anyways, it was going to probably be either John Cena or CM Punk. Next here was Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, that sort of thing, right? Well, that's not what happened. And I'll explain, because in my rundown of the participants that we knew about, I talked about Jey. Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble. We'll get that out of the way. I talked about Jey Uso, as one of the people that was in the Royal Rumble, and I was like, he could, and he should eventually win the World Championship. I just didn't think it was his time yet. One, because of he just lost on Saturday night's main event to Gunther. And it was just too packed at the top, too packed in the main event scene. So you can't really have this outside of the box, wrestler filling up one of those slots. But thinking back on it after the fact, it actually really makes a lot of sense for it to be Jey Uso. One, because he's super over and really honestly, he deserves this. He's going to wrestle Gunther at WrestleMania and he's going to win. He absolutely is going to win that match. If they have him lose the match again, what's the point? What's the point of having the match unless he wins the match? Big, huge celebration at WrestleMania. Here's the thing. I don't think it's the main event. I don't think it's one of the main events. I don't know. I have to go back and rewatch it because sometimes when they're announcing these things, they're like, when you win the Royal Rumble, you win a spot in the main event at WrestleMania. But not always, and I don't think that's how they have been announcing it. I'm almost sure it's been, when you win the Royal Rumble, you win a shot at your choice of champions. So, I don't think this match is going to be one of the main events at WrestleMania. I think that is part of why it made so much sense for Jey Uso to win this match. So one, we're going to be able to have Jey Uso versus Gunther for the WWE title on one of the nights of WrestleMania, probably night 2. Maybe night 1. But either way, I can almost guarantee it's going to open the show. As crazy as that is, I can almost guarantee, because it's going to be like the second level. It's going to be the second level main event, right? It is a main event, but unless they really want it to be like before the final main event, which, I mean, is possible. I see them opening the show with it, putting on an amazing match. Jey Uso getting that huge win, the crowd going crazy, having a great, way to really kind of like open the show, right? That's my prediction. We'll see. We'll see how that works out. Okay. Excuse me. Apologize. So let us say that that's what's happening, right? And so that now leaves 2 WrestleMania main event matches. And when I say main event, I mean the actual event that closes the show, right? So CM Punk, that's what he means when he means to main event WrestleMania. It doesn't have to be in the title fight, but we'll get to that. For CM Punk, in his mind, the whole reason not the whole reason, but one of the biggest reasons he came back is he didn't get that main event match. Now, technically speaking, his match against The Undertaker before he left the first time, I can't remember which WrestleMania that was, but he had a match against The Undertaker that was billed as the main event. So when they keep saying he's never main evented a WrestleMania, that's not entirely true, because he did main event. But when he says main event, and now when the announce team says he's never main evented a WrestleMania, that's the last match. He wants to close the show. And that has to happen. It has to happen this time. It was going to happen last WrestleMania. I can almost guarantee it. And he got injured, so they weren't able to do it. But I can almost guarantee CM Punk is closing probably the night 1 of WrestleMania, but maybe not this year, because the Bloodline story is kind of moving down the card a little bit. I'm not 100% sure that's going to be the main event match, let alone the main event match of night 2. Because what I think is going to happen, if Cody Rhodes is not injured, is CM Punk is going to get himself in that title match against Cody Rhodes. Now, it may not be a 2-person match. It may be a 3-person match, or even a 4-person match, but probably a 3-person match. Because this is how I see it kind of playing out. Someone else wins the Elimination Chamber. John Cena. And then CM Punk, his favor is not to have a match against Roman Reigns. His favor is to get a title match at WrestleMania. And so he gets himself put in that title match between Cody Rhodes, John Cena, and CM Punk. If CM Punk, or if Cody Rhodes is injured and he really can't do the match, then you make the Elimination Chamber a championship match. Whoever wins the Elimination Chamber, John Cena, probably. And that's when he gets that title. But I don't think they want to do that, because the record breaking, is it 17 or 18? Come on, I should be checking this. Anyways, the record breaking title reign should happen at WrestleMania. He should win it at WrestleMania. So maybe not. So maybe he wins the Elimination Chamber, but they don't know who the champion is going to be, and they want the championship match to be at WrestleMania. And so they're going to determine who is going to be fighting John Cena. So it'll be a new champion crowned at WrestleMania, and it could be John Cena versus CM Punk. That's a possibility too. But either way, that's my take on it. I think that John Cena is probably wrestling for the title. CM Punk is probably wrestling for the title. And then we need to wait and see, is Cody Rhodes injured or is he not injured? That's probably how that's going down. The only other thing that I can imagine is that he does ask for the favor to be in a match alongside Roman Reigns, is probably more likely. So basically, Roman Reigns is going to have a big blow-off match that, is it, who does he go up against? Does he go up against the bloodline, but there's not really enough of them. So is it going to be like Jacob, Tama, uh, um, Seth Rollins, and Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens if he's not injured. So it may be like a 5-person match, 5-on-5 or 4-on-4. And then maybe the favor, even though it's not for a title match, the favor is asking Paul Heyman to have him be on Roman Reigns' team so he can be in the main event of WrestleMania. That is a possibility. We shall see how that goes, because storyline wise, he's also involved with Drew. He's also involved with KO. He's also involved with Drew and Seth, and he just got involved with KO on the night before Royal Rumble, or SmackDown before Royal Rumble. So that is a possibility too, to get him into the main event, even if it's not a title match. I could see him asking for a favor, and that could be a possibility. Either way, CM Punk asks Paul Heyman for a favor, gets himself into one of the main event matches for WrestleMania. That's what's happening. Kevin Owens is most likely going to go into that match also if he is not injured, the match against Roman Reigns. So who's on Roman Reigns' team? Possibly CM Punk. The other thing that could happen with John Cena is he really doesn't win Elimination Chamber, and so he can't he can't wrestle for the title, and so he ends up being one of the people to help Roman Reigns in that match. So he's on Roman Reigns' team. But more likely, I see it being Roman Reigns, the Usos. No, it can't be the Usos. That's right. Yeah. Jay is in the title match. Roman Reigns, Jimmy Uso. Does Solo Sikoa come back and team with him? We still don't know for sure about The Rock. But honestly, if The Rock does come back, if he is able to wrestle a match, I see him more likely on the other side. So who else teams with Roman Reigns, right? He's going to get himself some team members, and Sami Zayn, or is Sami Zayn going to side with the other side and side with Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins, his friends? I know that Sami Zayn is wrestling tonight. He's wrestling a match against CM Punk, so we'll see how that goes. Is that to get him into the Elimination Chamber? Is that an Elimination Chamber elimination match? Because if CM Punk eliminates Sami Zayn from being able to go into the Elimination Chamber, I could definitely see Sami Zayn maybe even more likely to align with Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins. It's going to be interesting. Yeah. All right. So that's what I'm looking at as the main event scene. Right now, the things holding everything up are they injured? Is Cody Rhodes and KO injured? And is The Rock going to be able to wrestle or not? I think those are kind of like the main things that are left to determine. The rest of the card is going to be Charlotte Flair versus probably Tiffany Stratton. I just see that being the match they're going for. On the other side, it's going to be Rhea Ripley versus who, right? So Rhea Ripley versus, I think it's going to be a multi-woman match. You could see Bayley in there. You could see Liv Morgan. You could see Alexa Bliss. You could see Nia Jax. You could see Io Sky. So there's a few people. I think that'll be a 3 or 4 person women's match on the other side. All right. Who else? Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker is, I think, going to wrestle Logan Paul. I think that's what they were going for with the spear on I Show Speed and, some of the other interactions. And I think that's probably the biggest, highest profile match that Logan Paul could be in, other than, so technically Logan Paul could be in that multi Roman Reigns match, right? I highly doubt that, but he could possibly be in that, or he has a boxing match coming up against his brother in March. So we could see a WrestleMania match that's kind of like tied into that. I think I talked about it in the Royal Rumble video. So, there could be a match between Logan and his brother. More likely, there could be a tag team match where his brother has a wrestler as a tag team partner, and Logan Paul either has a wrestler as a tag team partner or another, celebrity that wants to be a pro wrestler that night. Could even possibly be, like, say, Conor McGregor is a possibility. They could. They could have it be IShowSpeed, they could have it be, something like that. And Braun Breaker on the other side with Jake. That'd be fun, right? Jake Paul and Braun Breaker versus IShowSpeed and Logan Paul. All right, so we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. U.S. title match is probably Shinsuke versus LA Knight. Although LA Knight made a lot of people mad apparently at the Royal Rumble, so I don't know, that could change. Damian Priest could be in that match because there was something going on there. If Drew McIntyre is not involved in the Roman Reigns match, he could be in a match with Damian Priest. Shinsuke Nakamura, LA Knight could also be involved in that. Let's see some of the other wrestlers that probably need to be on the show. Kind of have that tag match probably, which is probably Motor City Machine Guns, DIY, and Street Profits. That's a possibility. Bianca Belair is having her storyline with her tag partner, so it's either going to be like the tag team breaks up and they wrestle each other, or Jade Cargill is going to come back and there's going to be something going on there, like possibly why am I forgetting her name? Bianca Belair's tag team partner, who's been in WWE forever. I hate it when my brain does that. Anyways, Bianca Belair's tag team partner probably injured Jade Cargill on the way out, so there could be a storyline there. Something's going to happen there, probably including the Women's Tag Team Championship, but we'll see. Who else? We have the women's mid-card titles. Those should be on the program. I mean, you don't just make those and then be all like, okay, well, we're not going to do anything with them. I mean, they could. It's WWE. They do that sometimes. But I highly doubt that. I could imagine there being a match between... I have to think about that. We're going on almost 30 minutes on this video. Let me think about that. I'll probably do another video. Once we know more about the injury status of Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens, maybe when we know more about The Rock, I'll do a predictions for what I think is going to happen at WrestleMania. But I kind of did that right now. So there's some things left out there, but that's the idea. All right, everybody, let me know what you think, and comment, like, those sorts of things. And I'll be talking to you again real soon. Take care, everybody. Have a good day.